Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is Explore Yourself, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. From Mailroom to Corner Office, A Banker's Journey by Dr. R. Srinivasan. Cover page of the book. Today, that is 6th May 2025, I am sharing episode number 4. YouTube link of previous episodes. Episode 1, Episode 2, and Episode 3. Childhood and School Days. I was therefore sent to D section of ninth standard. There used to be A, B, C and D sections. A section was meant for boys who choose English as their medium of education. The other three sections each had about 30 or 32 students and was conducted in Tamil. Having not studied the language till the 8th grade, it was another problem confronting me at that time. Because I was sort of by the school standards, I was seated on the front bench and it became an easy target for teachers to ask me questions that made me very uncomfortable. Education at this school went up without incident. Due to my good handwriting, I was sought after by my Tamil teacher, Dr. Rajamanikkam, who was a great Tamil scholar, to write his books that he dictated. I also won one or two prizes in the school for some of my literary achievements. I was not known to have played any game worth mentioning. The motto of the school was "Play the game." It looked to me like it was mocking me. During the 3 years of my education, restrictions imposed on me by my mother continued. I was not to go out of the house except to go to the school. A small concession was that I could go to the house of another co-student, KG Santanam. Later in life, I came across another KGS Sattasingan, but more about him later. Santanam lived just 5 houses away from mine, and he was the only outside contact for me. His mother occasionally gave me some tidbits to eat at her house when I visited them, and it was time for her son to eat. At school, we had a teacher called Rohaya Naidu. He was given the nickname Karadi, meaning bear, because of the amount of hair all over his body. He was a fine teacher and he taught English. On occasion, he would become very emotional. One day he was teaching the poem Sohrab and Rustam by Matthew Arnold, and in the course of doing so, he became so involved that he started crying. We had another teacher, Dr. Rajamanikkam, referred to earlier, who was a Tamil scholar. His way of sitting in his chair was peculiar, and it looked that he had no backbone. He would almost be horizontal on the chair, but his teaching was superb and made complex Tamil grammar seem simple. We had another called Jambulinga Mudalayar, who taught us geography. He used different methods of keeping the class very lively and involved. Then there was Ramasubramania Iyer, who taught chemistry. One day he asked me to explain a theory called Boyle's law and Charles' law. How could I explain when I did not understand what it meant? I did not come up to his expectations with my answer and became the laughing stock of the class. When I wrote my final examinations of the 10th class, 5 Form 1 was dispatched to a place called Chingalpur for the summer holiday, a district headquarters about 39 miles from Madras. My sister's husband, Dr. Srinivasan, was working in the excise department in that town. That was perhaps the first time in my life that I went to stay away from our home. I was constantly afraid about if I would pass that examination. Towards the end of that summer holiday, when I was returning home, because my sister was expecting her first child, Bhanumati, I went to my school to see whether I was promoted or not. It is only after seeing my name on a list of the successful students that I felt relieved. Incidentally, the name Bhanumati was chosen by me for my sister's first daughter, as it used to be a custom to ask the maternal uncle to name a newborn baby. 2 streets away from where I was living, there was a small club called City Central League, which was run as a recreation center. The maternal uncles Varadachari and Ramasamy of my friend Santanam were important members of this club. That gave us the privilege of visiting the club even though we were very young. That is where I first saw the games of carom and chess in progress. I was naturally attracted to both, but being so young, we were not allowed to touch them. Just opposite our house, there was a family of Naidus. They had 3 sons, Purushottam, Chandrababu, and Bangaru. They are considered to be somewhat affluent people and were generally beyond the approach of others in that locality. In their house, they also played carom. I used to go and watch them from a distance. For some reason, the mother of the boys liked me and allowed me to come into their house. One day, I was asked to step in and play carom because they were short of one person to make a game of doubles. That was the first day I ever touched a carom board or the coins. I did not even know where the carom striker should be kept and how one should play. I exposed my ignorance as soon as the game started, thus contradicting the tall claim that I knew how to play. I had a similar experience on the first day I went to a playground where a cricket match was to be played. The players ran short of an umpire and I was asked to step in. As soon as the first ball was bowled, there was a noisy appeal, and I, not knowing what to do, I gave the batsman out, which I was later informed was a wrong decision. Ultimately, time came for me to bid goodbye to the school. I sat for the SSLC final examination in March 1947. Madras University had a rule that before allowing students to take the final paper, they had an examination called selection exam. This is to filter the number of students who appeared for the final. The selection examination used to be held 6 months prior to the final exam. The stipulation was that at the time of appearing for the selection exam, one should be at least 15 years of age. Having been born on March 30, 1932, I would not be 15 by September 1946. Therefore, my father changed my date of birth to May 30, 1931. Therefore, this became my permanent date of birth for all official purposes. That way, I am officially 10 months older than what I am in reality. The year 1947 was a noteworthy time for the SSLC exam as it was marked by scandal. For the first time in the history of the university, all question papers of all the exams were sold in public a few days prior to the exam for as low as 2 annas a paper. When the papers were made available to students, I did not attach much importance to it. On the first day of the exam, however, I was astonished to find that the official question papers were an exact copy of the one already available in the market. The second and third day's papers were also similar. The government woke up and immediately suspended the exams and ordered a re-examination after a month. Naturally, the valuation of the answer papers were more strict than usual. I am not saying this is an excuse for the very low marks I got in the final examination. I got just enough to pass. I must admit that I thanked Providence for having scaled the heights of the SSLC exam. My mother was under the impression that I deserved to go for higher studies. I knew in my heart of hearts that I hated the idea of further studies. I had no courage to tell my mother that I would not do it. I obeyed her by applying to different colleges for admission. In those days, we need to pay rupees 2 along with each application. This money was paid by my mother. The college that I applied for were Vivekananda College in Mylapore and Agarchand Mammal Jain College in Minambakkam. After applying to the first college, I went to a nearby temple in Mylapore. It was a temple dedicated to Anjaneya, the monkey god, who was supposed to bestow learning and wisdom on his devotees. I sincerely prayed that he should see that I do not get admission to any college. I did not know whether I should acknowledge that he answered my prayers or he was too embarrassed even to consider me for further studies because of the record of marks I had obtained. But my joy knew no bounds when I learned that I was not getting admission anywhere. I also realized that our family finances were not very good. I felt that if I started earning something, it would go a long way to leading a better life. I was prepared to go for any job available. Childhood and school days completed. Next chapter will be early work experiences and will start through next episode. Thank you very much for your patience. Request for like, share and subscribe.